Okay, back on again. Now, I'm coming up to the first church that I'm fairly close to, which is this one, which goes all the way back there. Now normally I go down there and I'll go into the park that way, but this time I'm going to skip this street, walk down the main street a bit more so you can see the other church, and then I'll go through that entrance into the park. This is the front of the church. Parish Church of St. Aidan. And most people know, some won't. Before the 1500s, Britain was Catholic. Then, during the time of Henry VIII, it became Protestant, Church of England. Then, a short time between all of the Tudor rules, the church became more Protestant under Edward, which was Henry VIII's son. It became Catholic again under Mary, which was for only about 5 years. Then when Elizabeth I took the throne, it became Church of England again. Now this is a fairly new church compared to the other one. In fact, the first one I showed you is actually, I think the back part of it is a mosque now, maybe? I'm not sure. Actually, it might be this building I'm coming up to that's the mosque. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I got confused. So, this is the entrance side. This is actually the front side of this church. It's really pretty. It was originally a Baptist church, and I think it still is. It was built, looks like it's dedicated in 1930, so it was probably built during the 20s. And then that building on that side is the mosque, as you can see. Now, I could have gone one street down and gone straight into the other gate, but I'll cut through here. That's a Pokestop there, where you can see the paint, the little mural. And I believe this is a Muslim school. Oh, it is. Green Crescent School. I think it's, and I know it's religious, and it is mainly Muslim kids, I think. That's all I usually see here, but then again, I'm not here very often when there's people coming out, because I don't like coming out when schools are just finishing, because it's always so busy. Okay. Now, there's a gate there that I'm going to go through now, which is going to take me into the park. And the pond is much closer to this gate. And then I'll go around the pond, go out the front gate, and then you can walk with me as I go back to where the leen is. Spinning Park. Now, this is what I was telling you about in the last video, where they come in and do planting and cleaning and clean the water, all that sort of thing. Now, this is what you see as you enter from this side, which is just massive trees and a walkway. But if I've timed it right, it should be fairly quiet around the lake, I hope. Again, some people know this, some don't. I suffer really bad social anxiety. If there's something to be anxious about, you can guarantee I have it. I'm also bipolar, but that's neither here nor there. Now, there are a couple of people sitting, but I'm going to take you out onto the bridge. See what we can see. I'll give you a peek at the leen from that side too, because it runs through here. But I can't actually get down to walk, you know, next to it. I can walk in it, but it's been really cold the last few days, so the water will be cold. This is my favourite place in this park. At least during this time of year. There's also a lot of rats here, but it's people who have turned loose pet rats. In fact, there's one down there, but I wasn't fast enough. Don't know if you can see the reeds moving, but that's a rat running through them. He's a little grey thing, but there's also white pet rats that have been released here that have interbreeded with the wild ones. Oh, we've got baby ducklings. I knew there'd be babies here. Although these are older babies. These are fairly close to fledgling babies. They can probably fly. Usually you've got the little tiny fluffy butterball things running around. And you've got what looks like a juvenile coot maybe over there. You can see it, it looks kind of fluffy. It's just standing, pecking at the edge, about to walk out now. I can't tell from here if it's a duckling. It might actually be a duckling like these. Or it might be a gosling. I can't tell. I'm too far away and I haven't got glasses on. I don't usually need them at this time of day. You can see all the feathers and stuff. They've got it like this. And if you see there's wiring around the reeds, it's to keep people from bothering the ducks and geese when they nest in there. Because we have some Eastern Europeans who are used to being able to eat swan, and they don't realize that they're protected here. So they hunt them. But I've also seen people wait for the ducks to lay eggs and come and take the eggs, or you get kids that come and destroy the nest just for the hell of it. Which I really hope I catch him doing, because if I do, I'm going to throw him in the water and see how he likes it. because when you go into that water, it's just mud at the bottom. You can't stand up. That's why you're not allowed to swim in it. This is the leen. But you'll get a much better look at it when I go around the other side. I'll take you down to where the tram stop is, because that is where there's a pathway that takes you by the leen, and you can follow it all the way into Borwell, which is like the closest shopping centre to here. Most of the birds nest on the little islands because they're safe out there. It's you. Hello. I can't help it, I have to say hello to the dogs. Now this was used for nesting one year. Now I'm getting close to where there's a lot of people, so I'm gonna have to be careful how I film this. Especially with there being kids. Don't want to get anybody on camera that doesn't want to be. Now you can see over there, lots and lots of birds. If I go much further, I'm going to catch the little boy that's feeding them, and I don't want to do that. I can't see the swans, so I wonder where they are. We'll go a bit further now, because I'm almost at the library. Over here is another Pokestop. See, it's carved, but it's come apart because there was another face. On this side, you had a woman's face on one side and a grandfather's face on the other. Now the granddad's gone. But if you actually look at Pokestop when you're here, it's the granddad that they have on the picture. Now this is the next, my second favourite bit, the archway. You can see how close they actually get to you. If you look out there, they've built a nest on one of the rocks that normally you can see and walk out there on. Holly tree there, that's the library. Then here, normally you can just see the stones under the water, but normally you can walk out onto that island when the water is not so high. It's high because we've had like a solid week of rain and flood warnings and things, and then we've got another tropical storm coming this weekend. It's threatening us another month's worth of rain in 24 hours, so it's one of the reasons I'm wanting to do this now, because I know this weekend's going to be miserable, and this is the first time I've seen sun in like a week and a half. They're not Canadian geese either. They are, oh, I can't remember what they are. They're geese, but I can't remember what the proper name is. You can hear the babies chirping, trying to get some of the food that the little boy's throwing in. Every time I move further down trying to get away, he comes around me and goes in front of me and stops me being able to film. But it's fine, he's got food while I don't. And that's the library in all its glory, which I'll show you from the other side. That's supposed to be like a nature. Those rocks where you can... It's rocks and tree stumps, but you used to be able to sit there with flowers. Don't worry, I'm not getting you. I just want to get the babies. That is a little coot with its mother. And then there, if I zoom in, is a gosling. Canadian gosling, actually. With its family. And there's another one. And another one. They've done quite good this year. So that's the only part of the lake I didn't take you around yesterday. So I'm now going to go this way. I'm going to go out that gate. And then I'm going to take you through that area. This is going to get noisy again because I'm going to be walking next to traffic. But this way you get sort of a view of not just the pretty bits, but also the normal bits, or what are normal for this place. It's a double-decker bus coming up. I can't remember what buses are like in the US anymore. That's the library. Which actually looks quite pretty compared to what it used to. We nearly lost it when they were closing them down. But I digress. In a minute I'm going to cross this main road and take you down through the other area. And then I might stop filming because I don't know if I want to make you sit through the whole other area again. We'll have to walk back through. That's a rail bridge, so that when the barriers are down you can still get across. And there's the trams and a police car. Again, I apologize for the noise, I'm sorry. I never thought when I came out to check the time. Okay, there's nothing coming, so I'm crossing. That was that's very naughty of me. I usually am better than that. So I have to cross before cars move. Okay. No more roads to cross. It's a tram coming toward me, but I'm not slowing down. It's bigger than me. Okay. In a moment I'll be able to show you the river properly. And I'm filming this on my phone, which I've just realised I need to turn it sideways. Now everything's gonna be thin. Everything but me. Damn it. Sean, if you're wondering why that giggle just came, I've just seen your message pop up. I was waiting at home before you, so I wouldn't leave until after you'd messaged, but never mind. This is how the leen's been routed. So I'm going to take you through. Probably go as far as where the swans usually are. I don't want to go all the way to Ball this late. Now you can see this has been routed this way because of the tram lines and the train lines. They've altered the flow of it so that it wouldn't interfere. Cherries! Why can't you be ripe? Those look a bit more ripe, but they're bird ones. They aren't poisonous, but they don't taste very nice either. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to record until I get to the other end where I'm heading, and then I'm going to switch cameras on the way back up. Because the only camera I've been using for photos and things is just lately, it's just been my phone, but I've actually got a decent camera. Just if I do YouTube through my phone, I don't have to spend 3 hours editing the video, because I can just shove it straight up as it is. Because I won't bother editing this, just so I can get it up faster. Hello. This might be a bit boring. I didn't realise how far down it actually is, I always forget. So if you want to skip ahead, I don't blame you. But this way I can catch more of the birds. And because I never managed to catch a kingfisher when I'm actually taking still photos, that's one of the reasons I'm letting this run. So that if one does show, I won't have to worry about whether I've caught it or not. You can probably hear my flip-flop gravel crunching feet as well. I picked a terrible time to film. I should have looked what time it was. It's getting toward the end of rush hour now. So you've got these houses along here that are right next to the water. But when you actually get into Ball, there are a lot of older houses like those. Those are terrace houses. And if you see that brown one there, at the end of the brick ones, that's an end terrace, and that's how my house sits. Only I've got 2 windows at the top and a bay window at the bottom. These houses are nice. I mean, these will be built in the last 20 years. But they're like cracker boxes. Usually as the summer goes on, I come down here and get blackberries, sometimes raspberries, and sometimes plums, because there are several plum trees as you walk through here. Some yellow, some pink. But the yellow ones are the best ones. Now I'm over halfway to the area I'm going to. So you won't have to listen to me rambling too much longer. When I start filming I can answer Sean too. Because I could only see part of his message. If you can see those little purple flowers, because my screen's got glare on it so I can't tell if it's showing up. I think that's wild sage. I'm not going to pick any, just because I'd rather leave it for the animals. But I'm sure if I pulled some off, it would definitely be sage. Those are all newer houses over there too. They're a lot smaller than the pre-1950s houses. If you want a house with a bedroom that's a decent size, you start going from anything from the 1980s back. If you want cracker box rooms that you can barely fit a bed in, you go for the newer houses. Now, when I get around this side, you'll be able to get closer into the water for one, but I'll also be able to show you, that's the tram you can hear by the way. When I'm closer you can actually see fish. I can't remember if this cuts off half an hour or not. I know my actual camera does. But I'm coming up to 29 minutes, so if it cuts off, I'll start it straight back. That's so annoying, seeing that floating there. And I can't get down there close enough to get it. It's so annoying. Now you'll start seeing ducks and things now. But they're much safer at the park because there are pike in here. And pike can take ducks. I mean, they can eat any small birds or babies. They usually eat fish and amphibians, but when there's baby birds swimming around, or juvenile birds not quite full size yet, the pike can eat them. And if they get big enough, they can eat full-grown ducks in coops and moorhens. Geese and swan are usually safe pike usually doesn't attack anything it can't eat all of. I'm hearing bells. Oh, it's the wind. It's alright. Okay, I passed 30 minutes and it hasn't cut off. This is the plum tree. You can see them. They're still green right now. But they'll turn yellow pretty soon. And they are so nice. Everybody comes down for blackberries. But not many people remember that there's cherries and plums too. Nobody but the birds, that is. Okay. As soon as I get around that curve up there, I'll essentially be right next to the water. And you should, I hope the wind's not doing a number on this, you should be close enough that I can point out some fish at least. I've been looking the whole way, but damn it. Piss off. I walked all the way down here, you've been calm. I don't need you now. I needed you when I was sweating my ass off the other day. I'm just gonna see if I can see any fish here. Sometimes you can. There are pike and perch, and carp, and cod, and koi that aren't supposed to be in there but are. In fact, I believe it's maybe the carp that they're moving now. Oh, that's where you live now. If you see that pair of ducks there, they are normally in the park. I wondered why I hadn't seen her yet this year. She must have came here instead. I wonder if it just got too crowded for them. See, that was a farm duck, the white one. But she left her farm at some point, or someone set her free, and she just integrated with the wild ducks at the park. She's as wild as they are now. She's been around for about 3 years now, and she has babies with that one every year. And you get these speckled, you get these mallards with white spots all over them. It's quite funny because they're really quite cute. You can tell straight away they're not meant to, you know, that's not how it should be. Because when you get them and they have different feather patterns, they start having problems when it comes mating time because they don't look like a normal mallard nor a wild duck, you know, white farm type duck. Though I imagine they would have no problems mating with one another. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen one of their babies fully grown. Not up to now anyway. Last year, there was a female duck here, a mallard. There were 3 males attacking her, trying to mate with her, because mallard males don't ask, they rape. And it's horrible to see, because it looks so distressing, and you intervene and stop them, and as soon as your back's turned, they're back at it. And she already had sort of 7 or 8 babies. And her babies were stuck here, where this fast water is running. And she kept being pushed out of the water up under that bridge. And her babies would keep getting swept down. And I finally had to throw something at the males to distract them and make them realize that there was a human close to them, so she would have a chance to get to the water with her babies and swim. So while I had the males distracted, she flew back down into the water and let the water wash her and her babies down so she could catch her breath, bless her. That's what stops me wanting to have pet ducks. Because if I was to see my own pets acting like that, I would not be able to tolerate it. I would have to separate them. And then I'd feel guilty. Because that's the kind of person I am. Somebody's very kindly throwing a monitor in the water. I can't get down there to get it though. It's too far down. I wish I'd brought the magnet thing with me. Could have thrown that in and fished it out with that. But this is the area the swans usually are. Oh, I see the geese. So the geese are here, but the swans aren't. Let's see if I can zoom in close enough to get you a view of their nest. Let's see if either one is actually, yeah. Okay. So you've got Mum and Dad there. And if I'm not mistaken, she's got a baby next to her. Walk up a little bit more so I can see. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, it is a baby. I'm gonna zoom in. You see where Mum is? There. You see it moving? Baby trying to push itself further under Mum. She must have a few. I do wonder where the swans are though. I'm gonna zoom back out now because otherwise you get drunk watching me move the camera around. But this is as far as I can go for now. By the time I've turned around and got home now, it's gonna start getting dark. There's a bull running around down there too. Zoom in there again. See if I can get a picture. I hear more birds, but I'm not seeing them. See, the swans usually are nesting right here in this area. But when come to think of it, they did get moved last year, so they may not have come back here this year. I'm going to zoom in over there too, because there is a bird there. Somewhere there. That is a magpie. Right, I'm going to stop the video now because this is as far as I'm going to go. I don't want you to have to double back and see it all again.